Hi there, it's Heather from Kestrel Field Studio and Art Residency in Colorado. I'm an art coach and also an artist, and today I want to talk to you about art coaching and how it might be of value to you, what it even is, how I came to be here, and if maybe we could start working together to get you where you want to go. So I'm not going to go too far back. You can probably assume that I was a creative kid. I really loved making things. I loved music and theater and dance. I loved all the things. And in middle school and high school, I took up playing the trumpet and worked super hard at being good at that and loved it. But then I went to college where they didn't offer an orchestra or a band program. So I set the trumpet down and instead picked up the recorder. Yep, that thing that you learn in fourth grade. And I joined an early music group and continued to learn so much about music through playing the recorder. But while I was also playing the recorder, I was also sort of leaning more into doing things with my hands and making things, and I really loved it. I made my own graduation announcements. After I graduated and moved into an apartment, I made sure that I had a room that had a table in it with all my supplies right here where I could see them all and use them all. And I started to create more or less an art studio. Then after, various ideas here and there, I went to graduate school and decided to become a counselor. And in my whole first semester, I had a really challenging time because I had to take all these personality batteries, just like that's part of counseling school. And every single one of them was telling me I needed to drop everything and become an artist. And I had this incredible professor who said, no, Heather, it's okay. You're not having an identity crisis. You can, in fact, be both. You can be a counselor and an artist. And all of this anxiety I was having around this just sort of started to melt away. And so I decided, okay, maybe I'll combine them, maybe I won't, who knows, but I can be both. So in 2008, I was living in Colorado, brand new house, had a new job, and I had a whole nother room, an actual room that I could call my studio. It was also the guest room. But I took a workshop, and it was led by a woman, an artist in New York, who was visiting Colorado. Her name's Lynn Perella, a mixed media artist. And it was a weekend-long workshop. And in that workshop, I was sitting in a circle with maybe 8 to 10 other artists, and we were all there to learn. And by the time we got to me in the introductions, I just felt such a strong sense of belonging that I started to cry when I was introducing myself. And I don't know, the power of belonging is so unbelievably strong. Surprisingly, I don't know, but like when you start to feel yourself like you are in a place where there are other people like you, there are people who like nod when you talk about things that you kind of feel are nerdy. They give you feedback on your work. I don't know. It just felt like all of a sudden I was an artist. Before that moment, I felt like I couldn't commit to the idea of being an artist. It was sort of felt phony when I was talking about me as an artist. And in 2008, this workshop sort of turned that corner for me. And all of a sudden I started owning it. And it wasn't easy at first because what does it mean to be a real artist? It's complicated and it's not clear. And what does that mean? Do I need to start pumping out a painting a day? Do I need to move to New York City? Do I need a website with a gallery? Do I need business cards? How am I going to earn money? Do I need to start the hustle? All those questions, and I was overwhelmed, but I also knew that I had to start calling myself an artist and talking about my art and living the life that I really wanted to be living. So at the time, I was working at Colorado State University as an advisor in the psychology department, and I was really loving the work because I got to talk to young people about what did they want to do with their lives. And okay, so they've chosen this major, but what does that mean for them? Why do they like this major? What do they want to do in life? Do they want to make a 6-figure salary, or do they want to travel the world, or do they want to have a family, or like what do they want to have a 9-to-5 job? Like what is it and that they really wanted? And I enjoyed sort of that exploration with that person, and also the nuances and those individual paths where you didn't have to make a decision today, but maybe you could talk to somebody or take a class or take a semester off or whatever it might be that could help you to develop a part of you that you were curious about. So as an advisor at CSU, I got to go to this really cool professional development institute program. And it was a 2-hour program. There were probably 40 or 50 people in the room. And it was led by somebody who didn't work at CSU. It was a guy named Rule Hunt. And he was a coach, like a coach for adults. And so remember in 2008 is when I decided I am an artist. And in 2011 or so is when I got to do this professional development session. 15 minutes into the session, Rule said, "Listen, Heather, would you like to be my test penguin? And I will show you what we're going to do today." So everybody was in this circle. He took 2 chairs and placed them facing each other in the middle of the circle. He sat in one and I sat in the other. And he started asking me questions about what I want in this life. And in that moment, surrounded by professional advising colleagues, I decided to be vulnerable and start talking about my artist self. It was scary, but I just decided I was going to do it. And the aha moment for me in that conversation was that I wished I had an advisor for art. I wished that I could find somebody who could tell me what to do. I wish there I was in a position of needing some guidance, and I wish I knew somebody who could tell me what to do. So after that conversation, first, the session was incredible with Rule, and all of us got so much out of it. But after that, I reduced my hours in the job. I used my employee tuition benefit to start taking art classes in the studio art program. And in 2020, I got an art degree. And in 2021, I retired from working at CSU so that I could start this new life as a residency owner, an arts administrator, somebody who wants to support artists in this area and beyond. And how could I do that? I could also be an art coach. So as part of Kestrel Field Studios offerings, art coaching is one of them. And I wanted to just tell you, what is art coaching? So you and we would get together and we would start talking about your goals. Maybe they're really concrete. Maybe you want to create an artist CV or write your artist statement, or maybe you want to understand marketing and email. Those are some really great skills that we can work on together. Absolutely. But sometimes people don't necessarily want that, or they don't know that they're ready for that. Sometimes it's just a conversation. What does it mean to be an artist in this culture? What about the culture of productivity? How do we who work differently, we think differently, we engage with the work world in a really different way than that 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 2 weeks of paid vacation. That isn't how we think. That's not how our brains work. Well, how do we navigate the productive working world when we're not in it? How do we feel legitimate? How do we feel productive ourselves? Is it okay if we take a day or 2 or a week off to work on other things and we're not constantly making a thing to sell? Those kinds of conversations are really important. What if you're not even looking to become a professional creative person and you just want more creativity in your life? We can work on that together. What if you just need some accountability and you need somebody to say, you know what, I'll sit with you while you work on your website. Or here's a way that your artist statement can sound better. Or what about let's apply to this art show, this call for art. But it's deeper than that. It's a chance to talk about the why, what is your why? And to start taking steps toward realizing your dream and your goal and making a living or not as a creative person. So I just wanted to get online and tell you a little bit about me and the situation. I would love to work with you. I would love to talk to you about your individual path, your ideas for what it means to be an artist. How do you fit being an artist into the life that you really want to have? How do you sell or not? How do you engage in your arts community? All of those things. How do we quiet the demons in your mind that tell you that being an artist isn't a worthwhile profession? That will never come out of my mouth. How can you feel more confident and more certain that this is the right path for you? Because I'm already confident about that. So please think to click the link below and let's see if we can start the conversation. We can meet in person in Fort Collins, Colorado, or we can meet online. And I really look forward to working with you. Thanks so much for listening today. And let's talk again sometime about the creative life. Take care.